Welcome to Offgrid Victory. So I'm working on our Sprinter van today, and this is an older van, so it has the classic Black Death problem. And these things are pretty hard to to fix. Easy to diagnose because you're going to get a lot of the gases and the fumes back into your cabin, and you're like, what's going on? And so anyway, the injectors have a copper gasket that fails over time, and this is a V6 engine. I'm just going to call this 1, 2, 3, and then of course 3 more on the other side. This is on the driver's side portion of the car, and the injector here, the second one, started having the Black Death issue. I want to go get a little screwdriver to point where they are. So this was the second injector, this is the first injector, that's the third one. So you could see this is how it looked before. This third one was all splattered with all of that caked on combustion, diesel and oil and all of that stuff. And of course this right here is the second injector that was bad, and so I cleaned it all out. So a couple things here that I want to show you that'll help you guys out. First of all, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but Easy Off degreaser. This is the heavy duty kind with the spray bottle. This will clean out that L area and get your other parts clean. And it is, you know, one of the recommended uses is for engine parts. So anyway, good degreaser. I would not recommend the normal degreasers because they just don't work on this mess. So imagine your oven and it's caked on. Well, that's what this is. All the heat and the oils and the diesel will just cause almost like an epoxy effect, and yeah, this stuff gets really hard. Anyway, removing these injectors are really difficult, and there's so many different things that I've seen people use. They use pull-out tools and all sorts of other things to get this out, you know, trying to pry it. But these injectors are super delicate, and the problem is this. See the top of this thing? It's all plastic, and you can see this one's slightly bent. Trying to get this off. Yeah, they're very delicate parts, and what fails is, you can see right there, to focus in here, is that copper gasket. So this one's still on there. I decided to pull the first one just to give me better access, and I'm going to go ahead and replace this. And I'm going to just replace all 3 of these. And so the main thing you're going to get take away from this video that I wanted to show you is this little guy that I made, and it's really a champion. It is it's not a champion, it's a Craftsman. It's a 1.5 or a ½ inch kind of crow's foot that I made, right? And it mimics the natural crow's foot that holds these injectors in. And so what you can do, I'll try to pull this away to show you. What you can do is make something like this with a grinder and just sacrifice it. This kind of follows the natural contour and the width of the crow's foot. I took the back out so I can leverage it with a crowbar and start moving this around, because unless you move this around, you're not going to get it out. There's no space here to use a pull tool, so don't spend $300 or even $40 getting one of these Chinese pull tools like most of us have. Just go ahead and make yourself one of these. Sacrifice a ½ inch socket and wrench, and go ahead and use that. And so make this tool, wiggle it, and then of course you could use it to pry too. So this second one was super difficult to get. So what I did was I put a little piece of metal underneath it, and of course the trusty hammer. Can't do this without a hammer. So tap, 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 and then of course it pulled it out, right? On this side, the good thing was I didn't have to do that, but I did remove all of this, and once again I pried it out like this. Use the hammer, put a piece of metal there to pry that out too. So yeah, this is the tool that you're gonna have to make, a ½ inch, and it's gonna have to be a crow's foot, and wiggle, 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 and then bring it out. And one of the videos that I saw on YouTube had that, but he didn't modify the wrench, which you absolutely have to do, because you're gonna get stuck in between these crevices right here and here on the engine block. And so make this tool and save yourself a lot of time and headache, and of course take your time. You don't want to damage any of these injector heads and and fuel lines, because one of these injectors cost you know, at least $500, something like that. So 6 injectors, right? $3,000. Pretty costly repair. But even if you break this, consider if you took this to a dealership, they would charge you literally an arm and a leg. I mean, it would cost you at least I would say $3,000 just to replace one injector, so let alone all of them. So do it yourself at home. Take your time. You know, cover things like your this is the resonator for the turbo. Cover your turbo over there, and here I had to take one of the fuel lines off, so cover the holes there, because you're gonna have to even take off the radiator hose, right? Like, there's my radiator hose here. So to give me enough room to work and to pull things out. So you're gonna have to remove a lot of things, keep track of where the screws are, like these that actually hold the whole cover on, things like that. Keep a close tab on it, take pictures if you must. I'm not a mechanic by trade, so hey, I'm just doing these. But let me go ahead and show you the second injector and the Black Death. Look at how nasty it is. Hold on here. Oh yeah, that's all the penetrant oil that I use. But look at this, there's no room to work. I mean, you know, these guys were not looking out for the guy who's the Homestead mechanic here. So anyway, yeah, you can see that ring's not even there. That's the copper ring that should be there. That one's not even there. And you can see the slimy old mess here, right? And this injector I actually pulled out straight, so it's not bent like the other one. But at any rate, yeah, I'm going to clean all this up, clean that hole up. Look at all that nastiness, but it is penetrating well. I have to clean it very well, put it all together, and most likely I'm probably going to have to change out this guy right here, the fuel filter too, because who knows what's going to be in there after all of this work. At any rate, I wanted to show you that, so hopefully this will help the Sprinter owners do their repairs. I'm just going to leave this right here for a second. Try not to break the injector tips, and yeah, go ahead and sacrifice what this is like a what $12 wrench or something like that, or even less. Go ahead and make this crow's foot and use that to leverage and move this thing to start wiggling it out, and even use it as a pry bar, right, like that with a hinge. That's it. Alrighty, shalom, and have a good time doing this.